Why won't you show your true
One kind of person. So to get to know me, we need to sit isolated.
What if I'm not comfortable sitting by myself?
I'm also not really comfortable exposing myself.
Who else is noticing this Cold War between Terry and GASH1? Because I don't understand why there's a big personality clash between these two people. I'm trying to understand what is happening. I'm trying to understand what is happening. Because seriously, if I were looking at this housemates and the stories that have been happening and unfolding in the house, I would have thought that maybe the person that should be having a personality clash with GASH1 now is maybe Vinyl. Like Vinyl. Because, I mean, guys, earlier today, there was this conversation about GASH1 confronting Vinyl. But guys, it looks like these G's are cool. But Terry has just carried GASH1's matter on her head, and I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Okay, guys. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all the conspiracy circles that we had, all the conversations that went on in the house today. Hey, before I continue, I think I need to upload Biggie. Biggie, thank you so much for bringing this conspiracy circles, because it is now validating these conversations that they're having. Now we can see everybody's true color come out. We can see them intentionally play the game that they're supposed to be playing. So guys, before I go into the sharing, of course you guys know I always share videos in between my conversation. So if you want to get the best of this conversation, I would really advise that for you to get the most of it, to get the conversation, to get the full gist, the full details of everything, make sure you watch this video to the very end. And with that, you don't miss a thing. You understand the flow, you understand the conversation, and you understand what's going on in the Bbmzansi show. Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliuche. You're welcome to Personality Highlights. In this channel, we'll talk about reality shows. If you're stopping by for the first time, please click on the red subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on post notification bell so that you always get a lot of my video every time I share new content. If you're already a family member, thank you so much for always stopping by to check out my videos. You guys know I love to keep it real here, and guys, constructive criticism is one of the things that I love to do in this channel. If your head cannot carry it, you better move for your own good. So here I'm going to be highlighting most of the conversations that happened in the house today. So today started with the housemates getting to their usual things, workout. We saw Libo. You guys, I'm sorry, but one of the things that I do in my channel is just to take you through the conversations that happened in the day so that you get the full picture of how it all rolled down. So we saw Tools and Terry in the kitchen making spaghetti, but one yucky thing I saw there was seeing both Terry and Tools serve these things with their hands. I'm like, oh, is that how you serve it in South Africa? Like, I don't know, but if it's me, I'm not gonna eat that food. I'm sorry, I'm not going to. So moving from there, we saw who now, Vinyl and Themba in the garden. Like, there was this long conversation that happened between these two guys, and I'm like, hey, what's happening? Is there some tension from Vinyl? Is he feeling some type of way? From his conversation, it was like, he said a little about, it was mostly about Terry. He was having a conversation with Themba about. In fact, Vinyl did not even go close to that conspiracy circle at all. The conversation he was having with Themba was about Terry. Terry was the biggest conversation that Vinyl was actually having with Themba about. And at that moment, when I was just listening to Terry, Vinyl and Themba, in my head, I was like, oh my God, what is this guy thinking about this beautiful lady? Because I can pay any amount just to have a sneak peek into what his thoughts really were about her. And then, guys, after so many conversations, he started with saying something like Terry has self-confidence and all that. And then, guys, the conversation was a very lengthy conversation. At the end of the day, Vinyl spilled a lot of things, some horrible things, horrible things to my ears. I mean, Vinyl and Terry shippers, are you guys still shipping? Because I don't know what's going on with this Vinyl guy. I'm not gonna lie. I've shared multiple videos calling this guy out. There were so many things he said. I mean, if I don't remember anyone, just pardon me. They were just too much for me to just take in and just come and share everything. But one of the things he said that got me was, he doesn't date girls like that. She doesn't have the face. He likes to date mixed race girls. She's too loud. But anyway, I understand the part where he said, but he tested himself to see if he could be with her, and that is good. I know, in some relationships, I'm not trying to judge Vinyl here, But I know that in some relationships, right, you see yourself dating somebody that you really don't want to date, right? It's not even in your spec. You just find yourself there and it's just there. Love happens. But seriously, somehow Vinyl just makes me, like, he gives me this creepy sensation ever since he's been saying some nasty things, ever since he's been acting like a chameleon. Because when he's with Terry, he's all smuggled, kissing, loving, doing the most. When he's not around her, he's saying some very, like, awkward things. That's what I'm going to call it. I really can't explain who that guy is. I'm serious. I'm not going to go into deep with that. So let's move away from Themba and Vinyl. We actually now saw this housemates gather. Mpo was like the ringleader there, and they were playing this game of truth speaking or truth saying or whatever. It had to do with when it gets to your turn, you ask a question, you get the truthful answer from somebody. Then most times when they play these games, like whether it's the spin, the truth or dare or whatever, it's always about crush and all that and all that. I don't know why they can't ask sensible questions in the house. Slowly crush. They use crush to do people in that house. Pardon me. Well, it was all about crush. So the question started, they asked, "Oh, who's your crush?" Bo was like, that she doesn't really have a crush, but then she later said, well, Debo came into the picture, Boo was his crush. And I was like, okay, we understand. They asked Tato was like, you know who, Tools, called the normal people that we've been hearing before. Then, but there was this conversation that Terry really asked, GASH1 was the one that really made me look at her like, what's this, are you fighting? So, I mean, you guys know that even when they had this card stuff last week, Terry was one of the people that like called GASH1 out and said, you know what, you're being too fake. How would you give all the guys in the house toys? Like, I don't know, but Terry has a beef with GASH1, and I don't know why that problem is. I don't know, it's because she's seeing GASH1 as a real competitor in the show, but whatever it is, she just has a bad taste. GASH1 is bad taste when Terry is around. So the conversation stretched. At that instant, I could tell that there was some bad blood. And before then, guys, also while they were doing their laundry, we had seen Debo, Tools, and Terry have a conversation, and they were still talking about GASH1. In fact, Tools was like he's ready to be a snake for anything, with this conspiracy thing. Debo and everybody were laughing about it. Terry still pointed out that GASH1 was very fake. I don't know. He's just saying he's playing a game. Everybody in the house has been seeing that he's playing a game. He's intentional about his game. Somehow, he kind of ticks most of his housemates off with the weird things that he does in the house. Well, that is allowed because, guys, this is a game. We're all here for the drama. So, guys, after that, we now saw the conspiracy circle start. We saw a circle with Themba, Tools, and Libo, and guys, they were talking about who they were going to nominate. GASH1 was mentioned. I was like, okay, we're going to be seeing. Yoli was mentioned, Norman was mentioned. I was like, okay. And then, guys, Themba played a smart one. I think GASH1 had a feeling that he was being talked about in the conspiracy circle, and so he kind of invited. Anyways, we found GASH1 and Themba in their own circle meeting, and the conversation was, how's the nomination going? They talked about Mpo, they talked about, I think Themba asked GASH1 who he had saved. He said Norman, said he had to save the boy, and then Themba was like, you know what, he likes that the show has changed, the game has changed, everybody needs to fight for his space. And then the conversation, and then he told GASH1 that, see, these guys in this house, they don't even like you, so you just need to watch it. And he was like, he knows. He talked about Mpo. Conversation was us rigmaroling. At the end of that, we now saw the main circle. We saw the real G's, the real conspirators. I'm going to give it to Terry, to Tools, and to Libo. So Libo was like the lead speaker, and Terry in this. In fact, they were all lead speakers. Libo, when they asked him who he would like to nominate, he said GASH1 because he wants to test his supporting fans out there, that he has had some conversation that I don't know where he had it from, maybe from Themba, that GASH1 has some big support out there, and that didn't they notice how Lawrence relates with him? I'm like, how did Lawrence relate to GASH1? He was head of house. This is the same thing that has been done to a lot of the housemates. So there was just this conversation anyway. Tools nominated Yoli. Everybody agreed that they were going to nominate GASH1. They were like, okay, we should bring out 3 facts. The conspiracy was loud. After that, in fact, we saw different circles. But what I'm going to tell you, and then we saw Nale, Venice, and Mpo have their own chit chats, and Tato was like the conversation they were talking about. And I was like, what is Mpo's problem with this Tato girl? Libo is not with Tato. Let Tato be, for God's sake. Guys, anyways, the conversation stretched, and what we finally saw was just them finishing up with the conspiracy thing and then getting ready for the arena games, and of course getting into the Monday head of house. This challenge. Is one thing I noticed about this conspiracy circle. We have 3 ringleaders, 3 circles, 3 strong circles in Biggie's house, and that circle is I think the Terry and the 2 circle, and Libo circle. That's the first strong circle, and Terry is like the ringleader there. And then we have the imposed circle. Venice is definitely going to be there. Nala is going to be there because they're on the quiet side. She kind of knows how to hold them firmly to her. I didn't see them in the conspiracy circle, and I'm like, what's wrong with them? Vino, I don't know. He's not even in any circle. He wasn't bothered about all this conversations about conspiracy circles. It was just in a world of his own. And then the last set I see, and Themba and Themba and GASH1, they're playing a solo game. And if I were to say something, I'd say they are the strongest links in that house. Themba and GASH1 are truly the strongest links. So it's very, very obvious that we're going to be seeing these people up for nomination. Yoli, GASH1, Themba. Yes, Themba was mentioned, and Norman. These 4 people were mentioned in this biggest conspiracy circle. So guys, the new head of house is Sister Mara yet again. This is her second reign, and she chose Venice as her deputy. So congratulations to both of them. Now here is the nomination list, guys. The conspiracy circle seriously worked this time, because we can see GASH1, we can see Norman, we can see Themba, we can see Yoli. These 4 people that were mentioned, guys. Terry and Vino joined this list. And the 7th person to top the list is Ntabi. Oh my gosh. What a nomination list. This is hot. Guys, I want to see you all in the next video. This was just all about the conspiracy circle and personality clashes that we're beginning to see in the house. And we know that this clashes will increase with the conspiracy that is currently going on in the house. Guys, this is where I'm going to be calling it a vid. I'll see you guys in my next video. For now, take care. Be good.